There was a test last week. There were lots of questions. In this lesson, you learn how to talk about things that happened before using there was and there were. We use there was for singular or uncountable nouns in the past. For example, there was a cat on the roof. There was some milk in the bottle. We use there were for plural nouns in the past. There were many people at the party. There were books on the shelf. For negative, we use there wasn't. There wasn't a cat on the roof. There wasn't any milk in the bottle. So for singular or uncountable, we use wasn't. For plural, we use there weren't. There weren't many people at the party. There weren't any books on the shelf. Some more examples. There was a light bulb on the shelf. There were many people at the concert. There wasn't a mirror in the bathroom. There weren't any cookies in the jar. Now let's try to solve some exercises. Let's talk about what was in the room last week. So we can use either there was or there were. Again, if we are talking about singular, we use there was, and for plural, we use there were. A clock. There was a clock on the wall near the window. There was a carpet on the floor. There were three pictures on the wall near the door. There was a table in the middle of the room. There were some flowers on the table. There were some books on the shelves. There was an armchair in the corner near the door. There was a sofa opposite the armchair. Now, let's decide whether it's positive or negative and singular or plural. So, in this sentence, it says but, so it will be opposite of what was before. So, it was positive before, now it will be negative. I was hungry, but there wasn't anything to eat. Was there any messages for me yesterday? So for question, we can bring the was and where in front. I opened the envelope, but it was empty. There was nothing in it. We stayed at a nice hotel. Really? Was there a swimming pool? Did you buy any bread? No, there weren't any in the store. The wallet was empty. There wasn't any money in it. Was there many guests at the party? No, just a few. We didn't visit the museum. There wasn't enough time. I'm sorry I'm late. There was a lot of traffic. 20 years ago, there weren't many tourists here. Now there are a lot. So for present perfect, we can use has been or have been, and for future simple, we can use will be. There was a great concert last night. There are 24 hours in a day. There was a meeting at the office last Monday, but I couldn't attend. Where can I buy a map? There is a store down the street. Why are those people outside the bank? There has been a protest. When we arrived at the cinema, there was a line outside. When you arrive tomorrow, there will be someone to greet you. 10 years ago, there were 300 students at the school. Now there are over 1,000. Last week, I visited my hometown. It's very different now. There have been many changes. I think everything will be fine. I don't think there will be any issues. So, in today's video, we learned that we can use there was to talk about singular things in the past and there were for plurals in the past. That's it for today's video. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.